దేశంలో తామే మావోయిస్టులను అంతం చేసినట్లు బీజేపీ సర్కారు చెబుతోందని కాంగ్రెస్ ఎంపీ సప్తగిరి శంకర్ అన్నారు. కేంద్ర హోంమంత్రి అమిత్ షా స్వయంగా తుపాకీ పట్టుకుని నక్సలైట్లను చంపినట్లు బీజేపీ ఎంపీలు గొప్పలు చెబుతున్నారని ఎద్దేవా చేశారు. తాను వామపక్ష తీవ్రవాదం ఉన్న ప్రాంతం నుంచే వచ్చానని చెప్పారు. 2006 నుంచి 2009 మధ్య కాలంలో ఛత్తీస్గఢ్లో ఎంతో మంది కాంగ్రెస్ నాయకులపై మావోయిస్టులు దాడి చేశారన్నారు. గత ప్రభుత్వాలు పోలీసుల కృషి కనబడకుండా బీజేపీ కుట్రలు చేస్తోందన్నారు సప్తగిరి శంకర్.
याद है मैम 2006 से 2009 सबसे जितना माओस के अटैक हुआ करता था, जितने माओस थे, हम खुद अपने दूर के परिवार के लोग को खोए हैं. हमारे कार्यकर्ता जो सरपंच था उसको दिन दहाड़े हत्या कर दिए. एंड आप बता रहे हैं ना कांग्रेस सपोर्ट करती है. आप 2013 का भी वो घटना सुनिए जब झीरम घाटी में हमारे छत्तीसगढ़ के टॉप लीडरशिप पूरे परिवर्तन यात्रा करने गए थे. टॉप लीडरशिप सबको एलिमिनेट कर दिया गया इस नक्सलवादी ने. तो ऐसी बात नहीं है कि इसमें उस वक्त का मुख्यमंत्री रमन सिंह ने सुरक्षा नहीं दी थी. मेन मुद्दा वही है. बहुत सारे नेता नंद किशोर पटेल जी अपने जान गंवाए हैं वहां पे. एंड ये बोलते हैं कि हम नक्सल लोग के साथ मिले हुए हैं. सबसे ज्यादा प्रभावित हमें बताइए, आजादी की लड़ाई में कोई भी भाजपा का बंदा कभी मारा गया? कोई भी नक्सल अटैक में कोई भाजपा का बंदा मारा गया? नहीं मैडम. छत्तीसगढ़ का टॉप प्लेयर पूरा उड़ा दिया गया इस नक्सलवादी के क्षेत्र में. जब इंसिडेंट हो रहे थे 2019-13 में, तब पीक में था. एलडब्ल्यू वायलेंस की बात कर रहा हूं. 2258 2013 में घट के 50% से भी वो कम हो गया था जो 2013 में हुआ था. एंड मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूं ताकि ये हाउस को भी पता चले कि यूपीए की सरकार ने नक्सलवादी खत्म करने के लिए क्या क्या किया था. हमारा एक ही मल्टी प्रोंग पॉलिसी था. सिक्योरिटी देना, सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस का डिप्लॉयमेंट करना, डेवलपमेंट के मुद्दे पे उठाना, अधिकार देना. आदिवासियों को जो मेन मुद्दा हुआ करता था हिस्टोरिक एलिनेशन, उसके लिए हम एक तो सुरक्षा बल से हम जो भी कार्रवाई करते थे, विकास करते थे एंड लोगों को अधिकार देते थे, आदिवासी को अधिकार देते थे. डेवलपमेंट वाज अ कोर स्ट्रैटेजी जिसमें यूपीए का जो अप्रोच था हार्ड पावर, जहां पे हम पुलिस का सिक्योरिटी ऑपरेशन करके जैसे कोबरा जैसे पुलिस मॉडर्नाइजेशन, पुलिस स्टेशन मॉडर्नाइजेशन, सॉफ्ट पावर राइट्स लेके आए, फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट, मनरेगा, आपका ट्राइबल एम्पावरमेंट, वेलफेयर डिलीवरी, डेवलपमेंट पुश, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, लाइवलीहुड, ये सब एक होलिस्टिक फ्रेमवर्क था जो यूपीए के टाइम में हम लोग करके आया था. हम नक्सल के गोली भी खाते हैं, पुलिस के गोली भी खाते हैं. तो सरेंडर पॉलिसी ऐसे था कि किसी भी को उठाओ, किसी को भी उठाओ, आप उसे बोलो ये नक्सली है, सरेंडर करो, उसको 2-3 लाख दे दो. इसको हम ठीक ठाक किए. जो एनकाउंटर हुआ करता था, फॉल्स एनकाउंटर हुआ करता था, उसको ठीक किए हम लोग. एंड बहुत से ऐसे निर्दोष आदिवासी थे जिसको जो भाजपा का राज्य सरकार था उनको जेल में डाल दिया था. कम से कम 300 लोग हम लोग रिहा किए.
మావోయిస్టు ప్రభావిత ప్రాంతాలపై మోడీ సర్కారు అబద్దాలు చెబుతోందన్నారు టీఎంసీ ఎంపీ మహువా మొయిత్రా. లోక్సభలో మావోయిస్టు ప్రభావిత ప్రాంతాలపై చర్చలో పాల్గొన్నారు. బస్తర్లో సాధారణ పరిస్థితులు నెలకొన్నాయని కేంద్రం చెబుతోందన్నారు. నిజంగా సాధారణ పరిస్థితులు నెలకొంటే సైనిక దళాలను ఎందుకు ఉపసంహరించడం లేదని ప్రశ్నించారు. 2025 డిసెంబర్ 13న కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం రిలీజ్ చేసిన నివేదిక ప్రకారం మావోయిస్టు ప్రభావిత ప్రాంతాల్లో పోలీస్ స్టేషన్ల సంఖ్య భారీగా పెరిగిందన్నారు. కేంద్రం పెట్టుబడిదారులకు అండగా ఉంటోందన్నారు మహువా మొయిత్రా.
It is richly ironic when today India, along with so many parts of the other parts of the world, is reeling under the terror of the right wing, when the West Asia crisis is enveloping the whole world, when this government has neither given us any answers as to what our Honorable Prime Minister was doing in Israel 2 days before the Iran-Israel war started, nor have the people of India been given any clear roadmap as to how our energy crisis is going to unfold, when queues are forming outside petrol stations, when black marketeering of LPG cylinders is going on, when airfares have exploded because the ministry has removed the airfares cap, suddenly you're having a discussion on left-wing extremism. Why? Because this beleaguered government, and more specifically the Honorable Home Minister, wants to use this as an excuse to pat himself on the back. For the BJP MPs and their allies to stand up and say, look, how great is Mr. Amit Shah ji, sabko thok ke thanda kar diya. We are not stupid. Indians are not stupid. we can see this discussion and its timing for what it is, which is merely a diversion from what else is going on in the world and in India on the streets. But LWE, left-wing extremism, did not just happen overnight. It's not something that just came out of the earth. Its roots are socio-economic, its roots are political, exploitation of native lands, displacement of tribals, looting of natural resources which rightfully belong to tribals, historical neglect of poor and tribal areas by successive governments. Now, LWE cannot be viewed as just a law and order problem, and it cannot be solved as just a law and order problem. It is a far more complex problem, requires a multi-pronged approach. In truth, the LWE solution has been taken up by the governments right from early 2000s when the UPA brought in Manrega, brought in the Forest Rights Act in 2006, and this kind of legislation for the first time gave tribal rights over land. And integrated action plans also decentralized developments where you had district collectors and local authorities having flexibility to respond to local needs in tribal areas. So this success that the BJP government is talking about, its allies are tom-tomming, is a result of a policy. Is this a result of a policy of total elimination where you've seen just a huge increase in the number of killings? Can that be called success? There's a 131% increase in killings between 2019 and 2025 in LWE areas, whereas there has been a 26% decrease in LWE arrests during the same period. Killings go up, arrests go down. So are you just cleaning them out or are you getting them to surrender? There's a big difference. Between 2021 and 2024, nearly 1,300 deaths occurred due to LWE. The highest was in Chhattisgarh, over 800, followed by Jharkhand, about 300, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh. West Bengal, in the last 3 years, has had 0 deaths. But let's look at, apart from just killings increasing, what else has the government done for these areas? Let's look at funds. When we look at unutilized funds, security-related expenditure and special infrastructure schemes for LW areas did not utilize 14% of its funds in 25-26. Financial year which has just ended, 14% of funds meant for this area were not utilized by this government. When we look at the security forces, this area security force deployment is at its peak outside of Jammu and Kashmir, outside of Manipur. These are the most militarized areas. There are over 1 lakh vacancies in the Central Armed Police Forces in 2025 and a 70% increase in vacancies in the year 24 to 25. Essential services such as public services, ration, healthcare, education are all being done in proximity to militarized camps. This is raising very serious concerns because welfare delivery has to be civilian, has to be rights-based. Now it's being mediated through militarized spheres. Access to entitlement is done only if you go into a camp, a barbed wire camp, give your identity document, talk to 5 military personnel. Only then can you get your just dues. This for democracy is a death knell. So this is transforming welfare from a matter of right to a matter of controlled access. And there are persistent allegations coming in from Chhattisgarh from affected communities that many of these camps and associated infrastructures have been constructed in complete violation of the statutes of the Panchayat Scheduled Areas Act, PESA, and under the Forest Rights Act without any due